Hello Internet, and welcome to Xifeng Plays OlliOlli. This is a pretty important episode for a couple of reasons. This is a game that I am really excited about because I think it is a really good fit for the channel and a really good complement to the games that are already on the channel. And speaking of the channel, there's some change going on. So you may have noticed the update schedule has been kind of, well, non-existent lately. I have been, well, ill, basically. It's a chronic thing. It comes, it goes. I had it, it went, and now I'm back. Now I'm going to be trying to, upload with a little bit more regularity. I'm going to be changing the way I do things a little bit, just because I think there were some things that were not working especially well and that were not especially maybe robust about the way I was doing things. Basically, I was recording a whole bunch of stuff at the weekend, and then it would come to the week and I would end up kind of not having time to edit everything, and if I ended up not liking any of the videos I recorded on the weekend, I didn't have really that much I could do about it. So I need to figure out kind of a better way of running the channel that is fits a little bit better with the way that I make videos and kind of what's available to me. So basically there's a whole backlog of videos. Another problem that I ran into is I got a new microphone, and there were some audio issues, and there were some kind of kludges that I did to fix them, and now I have kind of a big backlog of videos that I just don't like the sound quality in them. And now that I have the audio issues pretty much worked out, I kind of want to get rid of the backlog and just start making new videos, kind of refresh the channel a little bit, and start doing things a little bit differently, because this channel is, still very much going through growing pains. And I'm not happy with the quality of the commentary recently. I'm not happy with everything I've been doing, so I want to really kind of focus on getting this channel to be what I want it to be, even as kind of the vision for it and what I want it to be is constantly growing and evolving. So I kind of wanted to make that announcement during this video in particular, because this is a game that I feel like really captures a big part of what makes my channel what it is, and what I wanted my channel to be to begin with, and what I still want it to continue to be, and what I want to kind of make it focus on more. This is a game that is very much about kind of the joy of movement, and about precision and perfection and practice and performance, and all things that are really important to why I love games and why I play games, and a big part of why I wanted to create this channel in the first place. And so this game coming along was kind of a great opportunity to remind myself what it is about games that I really want to highlight, and what it is that I really want to do on this channel. Because one thing that I talk about, I don't remember how much I've talked about it on this channel, which kind of is part of the issue, but one thing that's really important to me in video games is this kind of sense of the joy of motion. And Vagante was a really good game for that, because it's a game that gives you lots of mobility options. This game, I feel like, is, kind of even goes one more than that, because, Vagante is a very violent game, and it's very much a game where death is a temporary setback, which I've mentioned that I'm not, 100% comfortable with that idea. Like, it's not, like, a deal breaker, I love Vagante. I think it's a great game. I love Umihara Kawase. It's still one of my favorites. I want more games like this and like Zenith that are about the joy of motion and about kind of making challenges and setbacks that aren't about killing and death. And so this game is, you know, very much something that I have been looking for and wanting, and I'm very glad that it's come along. And I'm hoping to kind of make it a part of my channel. It's an incredibly challenging game. I'm playing, you know, just one of the earlier levels, and it's kind of this combination of perfectionism and score attacks and building combos. It reminds me in a very strange way of Street Fighter, which is one of my all-time favorite games. Like, if you pinned me down and said, what's your favorite game ever, I would try like hell to weasel my way out of giving you a straight answer. But if you like held a knife to my throat or something, I would say, you know, Street Fighter is the game that is kind of most likely to be my favorite game ever. So this game is kind of has Street Fighter-like controls, but it's much more kind of based on platforming and precision. And one of my friends compared it to Cannibal, which I think is a somewhat apt comparison, just because it has that same kind of feeling of momentum and movement, but there are so many moves that it begins to feel a bit more like Street Fighter, just in kind of the number of different options that you have at any given moment, and in kind of the way that you control your character. But then, you know, because the levels are exactly the same all the time, it also has an element of something like 10-Second Ninja, where it becomes more about doing each level as close to perfectly as you can, rather than about really adapting. And so that's another way that I think that it is a really good complement to Vagante. Because Vagante, you know, one of the things I like about it is it's procedurally generated, and so it's very much about kind of knowing how to react to these circumstances that it throws you into, without having or being able to rely on, you know, getting stuff into muscle memory, or, you know, getting stuff ground down really well. And then this game kind of is, you know, again, more like Street Fighter in the way that you really try to get things into muscle memory to a really remarkable degree. Though also kind of similar in that, you know, it's so challenging and there's so many difficult things that you can do that it becomes kind of almost more like a musical instrument, where you don't ever expect to be able to play it perfectly, so much as just you expect to, you know, just be able to play it better than you did before. And so, you know, that's a lot of things that I really appreciate about this. And, you know, I realize, you know, as I said that Street Fighter is also a game of, you know, adapting and reacting, whereas this game is much more purely a game of kind of memorization and doing things, trying to do things as perfectly as possible. So I feel like this game really fits into the channel well. And you know, in case it's not clear from how much I'm talking about it, Street Fighter is also very much on the docket for kind of being part of this reboot of my channel. And so that will probably be coming along, you know, if it's not already up, that video will be up fairly soon. It's, you know, it's a little bit of a game that I want to kind of give it the best video that I possibly can. And so, you know, I'll probably go through many iterations before I do that. So, one thing that I've talked about a little bit kind of on forums, not so much recently, but a few years ago I, you know, kind of got in some long discussions about this idea of what I call overgrinding, which is this idea of, like, taking something difficult and then doing it so many times that it ceases to be at all difficult, and there's no longer really any challenge. You don't really feel like you have to put energy into doing it. And that's something that I've had happen to me in a lot of games, partly because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and so if I have the opportunity to do that, I tend to do it. And I feel like this is a game that will really feed that, which in one sense is good, because it is something I enjoy doing. But is also, you know, a little bit bad. I mean, that's something that I will, again, talk about more in the Street Fighter video, is I really like doing difficult things, and so overgrinding is a little bit of a mixed blessing, just because it means that, you know, whatever I'm doing suddenly stops being difficult. And I feel like this game has enough, you know, a high enough ceiling that that won't ever be, you know, a huge problem. But one of the things that I talked about in that, you know, online conversation that I had a long time ago is that even though there's, you know, maybe not a skill ceiling in this game, any particular thing that I'm working on can get to the point where I no longer feel challenged in trying to do it. And so the fact that, you know, there's always something harder to be working on is nice, but doesn't quite, you know, entirely take away the fact that any one thing that I'm working on, I can eventually get down. But, you know, that's kind of the beauty of neuroplasticity, is that things become easier with repetition, and, you know, we can teach ourselves to do things in, you know, really remarkable ways. And so, you know, that's part of why I always talk about wanting to kind of go on this journey of learning and getting better, and I feel like this is a really good game for kind of going on that journey and talking about where I'm struggling and, you know, where I'm finding great success. And so I think that it is something that, you know, I hope that you'll join me for. So that is kind of the story of where I want this channel to be going in the future and what I plan to be working on. And I hope there's not too much of a breach in continuity. I am going to be, you know, not having all of the videos that I expected to have, and I'm going to be redoing some videos. So there are going to be some kind of gaps and some changes, some kind of discontinuities, but I think that the channel will be better off for it. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you'll continue to join me. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. If you have any thoughts about the channel, the direction of the channel, you know, where you would like to see me go that you maybe don't see me going, I would love to hear about it. If you have any comments about games that you maybe would like to see, or things you'd like me to see me do in any of the games, I'd love to hear about that. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.